I was.
Sentinel training is a general physical preparedness program.
What is GPP? It is the ideal foundation and core of an athlete's training regimen,
Creating the strong base of fitness with which you can layer on accessory or specialty work unique to your weaknesses or sports demands.
Sentinel training focuses on the pillars of constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity to develop the fittest athletes across broad time and modal domains.
Our workouts are designed with intentional variance while allowing for maximum intensity and transfer of skill to prepare them for the unknown and unknowable demands of life and the sport of fitness.
60 consists of a devastating 1-hour training regimen with a skill development or strength progression depending on the day, and the most creative and fun workouts you will find anywhere.
Compete has core movement patterns and skills that athletes touch on a weekly basis in a creative and intentionally varied way in order to expose our competitive athletes to more movements, more variations, and more formats than any other training program you will find.
Train with us. Stop wasting your potential. TrainSentinel.com.
Thank you, Lizzie.
Colten's here.
Welcome, Colten. Why did Taylor get Taylor Self and the other two are just Hiller and Colten? The reason for that is I typed out Taylor Self, and then I typed out Andrew Hiller, and then I typed out Colten. Oh shit, I've got no space. So I had to delete, and I deleted Andrew and I deleted Mertens, and I just left Taylor Self because I was too lazy to go back that far. Welcome to Around the Whiteboard.
Are we just going to talk about Brian for a half hour or what?
Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice all my points today to say one thing every time I'm asked a question.
Who? I just need to do this first. Sorry for kicking the other two guys off.
What the fuck?
Beyond the Whiteboard, I have spoken to a lot of affiliate owners who have told me that one of their biggest pain points is that they've got multiple apps. I'm just going to take someone's name off. They've got multiple apps to do multiple different things. Beyond the Whiteboard can do everything. It can do your reservations. It can do your scheduling or scheduling if you're in the States. You can do your waivers. It can track your workouts, works with your MailChimp and all that. And it also, they will white glove over all of your current clients to the new thing they're using, which is pretty cool, I thought. There's the boys back. I thought Beyond the Whiteboard wasn't a sponsor anymore. They're not, but nobody else is, so I might as well just leave them there for another little while.
That's crazy.
Why'd Lizzie say the articulate bit at the end? The articulate bit. Why did she deliver the last line? Because Taylor sent me her voice doing the last two lines, even though I didn't ask for it. And I was like, you know what? That's actually a nice touch. Sex sells. So Lizzie's just the
That's better.
Final boss. Sex
You know, I made an amazing joke on Kill Taylor the other day, and nobody picked up on it, where they were looking at your dumbbell rack, and Lizzie was holding the camera, and Sevon said, "Oh, that's a nice rack." And I said, "Yeah, good job, Lizzie." And nobody copped, nobody noticed it, nobody reacted.
I thought you meant she built it. Wow.
No, I meant boobs. It was a boob joke. She got it. She said thanks. All right, welcome to Around the Whiteboard. We got three. Are you still coaching at past?
Yeah, I'm coaching at 3:30 on the dot,
okay,
brother.
So we got to move quick. Okay, we got three topics. Topic one is Brian. No. All right, Taylor, you're going to go first.
Oh fuck! I've been thinking about one thing all day, and it's not this podcast.
Yeah, that's rude.
This is my travel setup. It's a lot less glamorous than Sevon's travel setup. You may have noticed. Oh, that's very narrow.
You do look like Dom right now, dude. Like Irish Dom.
Yeah, my hair is getting out of whack. And I've gained too much weight. Where's that comment? Not sure Brian. Oh, not sure Brian is a threat to any of you. The constant hate brings nothing to the space.
Oh my god, just shut up.
Last week I was convinced that Avero was Brian's, like a burner account for Brian. Now I'm starting to think it again. I'd convinced myself otherwise, and now I'm starting to think it is.
No one hates him. It's just exhausting. I don't hate him.
You look like Irish Amish. Okay.
I was going to say it looks like you're almost wearing a shamag, like one of those Middle Eastern things around your neck, so that you.
Oh yeah, I just put it here.
Hobbit, dude, not his sweatshirt.
Yeah. This is from Vindicate. I borrowed Caleb's. We just have one between the 12 of us. All right. I have the clock up. Sorry, I'm a bit out of whack. Right. Topic number 1. Taylor, you're going first. You're closest to us. Should online qualifiers be abolished? We've had the Association of Shit Judges mess up their level 1 credentials or level 2 credentials, everything else, just a mess. We've had exceptions being made for some people, but not for all people, which is creating an even bigger mess. We have no squats for age groups, no squats for World Fitness Project. We have running for the teams because just why not, I guess. I mean, you might as well just mess everything up. Taylor, should online qualifiers beyond the open just be gone? You got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Go.
My answer is no. Online qualifiers should not be abolished. I think we need to get back to what CrossFit leaned into in the glory days, and that is it's impossible to make everyone happy. It's really easy to piss everyone off. You don't have to do either. You're not going to make everyone happy. Just design an online qualifier that has a wide breadth and depth of exercises, movement variations, time domains, modalities that you can safely say, hey, this is a relatively solid and balanced test of fitness. We're going to get a good group of people who qualify through these stages. You don't need to try to make it impervious to cheating. That's not CrossFit's responsibility. It's the community's responsibility to hold the fucking line and to move to standard. Cheaters are not CrossFit's fault. Cheaters are cheaters' faults. I get tired and sick of hearing people say CrossFit should stop cheating. No, cheaters should stop cheating. Fuck cheaters. Fuck buying friend.
America.
Sorry, I also forgot Kay Lehman should have been added in that initial intro to this question. All right. Hiller, you're next. You got 60 seconds. Man, your channel would never have happened if there's no... Okay, never mind. You got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Dude, that was my only answer. No, I think online qualifiers are entirely necessary. The nature I don't like them from is that it's almost the only way in which competitions seem to make money these days. So they're like, we have to have an online qualifier. I think that's kind of a weird cop-out that they use. But I do think that Rich said something on the podcast, which can kind of be a hybrid. There needs to be the sanctional model where they're going to implement that where it is an in-person competition. I think competitions like Crescendo would be an excellent ad for the team aspect of it, where like there's a massive fall on your face with the running recently. I do like online competitions. I like them for my YouTube channel, and I like them from we've got Jeffrey Adler all the way to the guy to my right, Colten Mertens, where he can go to a competition, do the qualifier, and show up having proved himself to be there. And then you've got Adler who chooses which ones he wants to do. It's the people in between who can kind of mess themselves up, doing too many, beating themselves up. But that's just called being smart or being dominant, like the dude over here.
All right, Colten, 60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
Sorry, I've just been watching Andrew's eyebrows the whole time Taylor was talking. I forget what I was going to say. No, I think online qualifiers have their place. You want to qualify for like a Wadapalooza or a Rogue or WFP or a lot of these other events. You got to kind of have some kind of qualifying system to get there. I think as far as like a semifinal online qualifier, yeah, the purpose of it in my eyes is kind of like a catch-all, especially with the season structure for this year, changing the structure to these in-person qualifying events, and most of them get 2 spots, maybe 1 spot, and some of them are put together last minute. So I think going forward, maybe they'll get rid of that, or at least reduce the number of spots they're coming from the online. But for semifinals, I view this year as the online semifinal being like a catch-all. So I think it has its purpose.
Good stuff. Taylor, you are so lucky you don't have hair on your head, because the amount you touch your fucking mustache is absurd.
I'm trying to make it look right, bro.
Just
I gotta give Heidi what she wants in the Mary fuck kill.
Yeah, I'm so glad I wasn't included in that. I don't want the answer if I'm included.
God damn, dude, that's crazy.
All right. Sorry, Avera answered. I am a hyper conservative, super white, hyper heterosexual. These are all really strong superlatives. Hyper heterosexual, hyper or hypo, who loves CrossFit methodology. Do I sound like Brian? Hyper conservative, super white. He's white.
He's definitely not hyper heterosexual.
Yeah, I thought that was a chick, so I'm all messed up.
Yeah, I thought it was a chick too, to be honest. That was my logic. Anyway, right. Taylor, you got 20 seconds to improve your own point or rebut. Off you go.
So to improve upon my own point, I think it's impossible to have a competition that advances people throughout the stages of the competition to get to the CrossFit Games or to something like the WFP without an online competition. It has to happen. What we have to improve on is the review process, which I think we've done a better job of in the past and can improve upon.
Hiller, 20 seconds. Off you go.
I'd like to clarify a point. I called Colten dominant, and I meant to say resilient in that last couple of seconds right there. He's been dominant this year so far, but the word I was looking for when it came to season over season and all the competitions he does is resilient. He just keeps on showing up. And I think that should actually be a component of fitness, just on a sidebar. Maybe it is what it means to be fit.
Oh, remaining injury-free.
Shh. Your coach will get half.
Shut up. That was a cool thought.
Colten, 20 seconds are yours. Off you go.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue with online, I think we need to have them for certain stages of the season and certain competitions, but the biggest thing is narrowing down a good system for reviewing the workouts and getting judging requirements in place. I think CrossFit is trying to do that with the online semis this year, and they'll have to keep adjusting.
Before we go any further, Colten, can I just say that your run and tumble is like the coolest thing I've seen on the internet for the entire.
The wrestling move to stand right up like that.
That was
This
crazy.
was Peter all day when you posted that. Peter spent about 30 minutes.
I am flattered that you think it would take me all day or even 30 minutes to finish the Colten.
Yeah, I didn't feel bad afterwards, but today my back hurts quite a bit actually.
Nice.
Were you going to fall?
Yeah. I was like, what?
He tripped.
Yeah, I slipped on it just got done raining. In the gravel, there's a little bit of a slick spot.
My initial thought when I saw his stumble was, oh God, he's after fucking his ankle and he's out. That was my first thought.
No way. Have you seen those ankles?
They're unrollable.
All right. Oh, bollocks. It's so hard doing this on a small screen.
That's what she said.
That doesn't make sense. Okay. Oh, fuck. I don't have the names up. I also said I wasn't going to swear.
This is brought to you by Beyond the Whiteboard.
Nothing to do with them. I just saw loads of people commenting on Rich's reel saying, I stopped watching loads of content because of all the bad language. And I was like, maybe I do swear too much. Maybe I should tone it down a bit. Fuck it. Okay. Taylor's on 2, Hiller's on 2, Colten's on 2. Nothing really to separate anyone there. All good points made. I'm actually very interested with that resilience comment. I think we should come back to that another day when we're not tight for time. I would maybe counter like Taylor your point about that. I know that we probably need separate qualifiers for Rogue and Waterploos and other things, but for the game season, the Open is enough to qualify for in-person events, provided you do it properly.
No, not as it stands now.
No, but provided they do, if they go back to 5 weeks, if they write specific,
sure,
they could abolish all the online messing. And
if they go back to 5 weeks.
Yeah, and they could also abolish it for. Then the counter to that is, Torian did online qualifiers, brought them income. Like there's that aspect to it too. That competitions, it's a source of income for competitions too. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is really. It's not my job to know, thankfully. All right. What are the World Fitness Project missing? We got 60 seconds. Hiller, you're going to go first on this one. Basically, the long and short of things are that the World Fitness Project have arrived. They have opened their not without heft checkbook, and they started dishing out money left and right. They've organized events. They've started doing affiliates. They've sent Brian Friend on Rich Froning's podcast to talk about how they don't know what the affiliates are yet. Great work. My question is, what are they doing wrong? What are they missing? Why is the whole community not saying shit, this is cool, apart from the 10% that are stubborn that Brian referenced? Hiller, you got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Go. Is this like Noah Olsen taking a minute? Is he going to ask for it back at the end?
Brian's gay.
For those of you listening on audio platforms, Andrew is aware that his clock has started and is staring in silence.
I'm scared.
Guys, respect it. Respect
His
the moment
eyebrows.
zone.
His eyebrows aren't even talking. 20 seconds. Ten. Oh, you're just out of time, Andrew. All right, Colten, 60 seconds are yours. Off you go.
All right, what the WFP
Thank God he
needs
talked.
is to embrace the iron hog. It can be uncomfortable at first. Some may even say painful, but once you get used to it, you'll be glad you did. Don't try and program me out. Just invite me into the fold. I saw you guys asking these people questions on the YouTube, and you guys didn't ask me any questions like, who's my favorite music artist? That's a secret. Who's my biggest inspiration? That's me. What is my spirit animal? It's a Dachshund. They call it like a Dachshund. That's not a very good spirit animal, maybe. Dachshund is German and it means badger hound. They're bred to hunt badgers and rabbits.
Is that it?
That is it.
Okay, yeah. I really like the delivery of rabbits there. All right, Taylor. Also, for those of you listening on audio platform, that was Taylor that belched, not Colten to finish. He didn't punctuate his sentence with a belch at the end. Right. Taylor, you got 60 seconds. Time starts now. Go.
Your favorite music isn't a secret. It's Yellow Wolf. We all know that, and that's gay. And then I would also go on to say that what the WFP is missing is substance. The WFP is like the new girl at school who's really not even that hot, and she has nothing inside of her head, but everyone's like freaking out and talking about her because it's the new girl. Well, let me tell you about the WFP. They don't have the fittest on earth. They don't have anything really. They are now asking affiliates for money to ask them what they want for that money. The WFP is the most ridiculous Ponzi scheme in the history of CrossFit, and they can't even use the word CrossFit. And to put the nail in the coffin, Ryan Husband is the sneakiest, slimiest, slipperiest person I've ever been around, and I don't want to have anything to do with him. The WFP sucks. Peace.
Slipperier than Brian Friend. My God. Okay. Hitter. I mean, you got 20 seconds. Time starts now. Go. Okay. Let's see how this is going to go.
Just here so he doesn't get fined.
Thank you, Andrew. Tyler Watkins, to help the creator build a positive, safe community, you can delete inappropriate messages, put a participant in timeout, hide someone from the channel, manage messages held for review. Are you talking about the fact that you have a wrench? You've had a wrench for 18 months? I don't really know what's happening. All right, Colten, 20 seconds. Off you go.
I think there's a group of athletes who are just doing the WFP for participation and they're really focusing on the games. Another group who is retired and they're showing up for a paycheck. And then there's a smaller group who actually cares about trying to win. And when the majority of the athletes don't care about their own performance, why does anybody watching care?
All right, Taylor, last 20 seconds are yours. Off you go.
The other aspect is that WFP is directly conflicting with the CrossFit Games. They don't want to coexist. They've been lying about everything that they're doing from the start. They're trying to poach affiliates. They're trying to beat out the CrossFit Games. They're not honest about anything they're doing. What else do you need to know?
Good stuff. I just feel bad for Roman having to compete so much. Yeah, it was funny watching Brian lay out the the poor Roman shtick on Rich's podcast, and that when this was first launched, I think was it Dallin? Were you on that show too, Colten? But I think it was Dallin said, well, you were in the comments, I think. Dallin said, I mean, if you don't qualify, like just be good enough to qualify. That was his answer, was just be good enough to qualify and like
Adjust
build
your
season around
training.
it. Yeah,
was the
adjust your
line.
training. And I'm fairly sure it was him at another point said, just be good enough to qualify. That should be your concern. So when they were laying out all the ways that Roman was going to fail to qualify, I was kind of thinking, I'm not really sure you guys are making the point that you think you're making here, that he's not good enough to qualify from several potential qualifying events.
He did it sort of with the assumption that, like, hey, let's say Roman's top 10 and he gets 3rd at Mayhem and 3rd in Spain and 12th in the online qualifier and 3rd at Syndicate and misses out on the games. Was like, is he top 10 then? Like, that's not a very good presupposition to make. I'm not saying Roman isn't top 10. Yeah, like Roman will probably be top 10 this year. But if you're going to say, like, a top 10 athlete can do these 4 competitions and not qualify out of any of them, then maybe they're not. That's not a very good presupposition to make. Just like a weak argument.
Some of a coverall, as Dave's, we're here to find the fittest under the statement, is that thing that Colten just said is very true. It's like, if you can't finish high enough to qualify for the games, then why should you make money at the games?
Do you want me to include that in your points?
No.
Okay.
I'm just talking over here.
No. No.
I would not like any points, please.
Give them to Taylor.
Hurry up, Peter. I got 8 minutes. Actually, less than that. Probably like 5 minutes. I need to read the warm-up.
Avera doesn't know the WFP system based on his comment. I still do the workouts that the pros are doing because I qualified for the pro division.
So what he's talking about is the fact that Jack Farlow is going to do lighter weights than you are, but he has the potential to move up to your division based on his performance, but he cannot move up to your division because he's automatically going to be on a lower point than you because he is scaling the workouts based on their own thing. It's a whole thing. Okay, there's the points. I gave Hiller 1.5 points for just entertainment and moral high standing.
Chase is gonna love
that. I'm tied with Malgosha's hog.
The real reason I gave you 1.5 points is because I knew the other guys were going to get more. So I was like, that's fine. I can throw.
You gave them 3.
They both made really good points.
Yeah, they did.
All right, last topic: Colten Mertens. One of the reasons that the WFP has started is because the PFAA started, and one of the reasons the PFAA and the WFP have started is because CrossFit doesn't care enough about the athletes. And my question to you is, does CrossFit care enough about the athletes? You have 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Go.
Yeah, I think CrossFit cares about the athletes. There's a lot of constraints that they're working within that I think a lot of people don't consider. And I think, one of their main goals for right now is trying to create a competitive season that is sustainable. And by that, I mean doesn't lose a bunch of money every year, because it's not good for the athletes if their sport goes away because it keeps losing money. So I think that's the reason for a lot of the season changes. But yeah, I think they care. They do. They have teams in place for like safety and I don't know.
Do you want to do 10 seconds of Hiller's approach to question 2?
I didn't prepare for this one. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah.
All right, Taylor, 60 seconds. El Jefe, El Presidente of the CAC.
Oh, damn.
60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
I think this is a tough question to approach because does CrossFit, the entity, need to care about the athletes? I'm not so sure that they do. I do think there have been times in the past where the perception is that the games team doesn't give a shit about the athletes. And I think that the games team is working very hard now to shift that perspective. And I do think there needs to be an element of care for the people that are giving everything they have to compete in the sport that the games team is creating. That being said, it's not the games team's job to make the athletes feel pampered and like they have everything that they want and everything that they need. There's a balance here. The athletes shouldn't feel like everything they say is discarded and they're never listened to. And the games team shouldn't feel like it's their responsibility to make them feel like they have everything that they need. I think CrossFit implementing the CAC and the Athlete Safety Advisory Board and everything else they've done so far this year is a really good start to mending that relationship and doing the right thing.
Hitter, 60 seconds. Time starts now. Go.
I'll never stop comparing all of this to like a birthday party, and you invite all your friends to your birthday party, and every year everyone talks about how great it is, and then afterwards you hear that like somebody was pissed off that the cake wasn't gluten-free or something, or it's a Thanksgiving, and it's like, where's the turducken? All they brought was this dried up fucking turkey this year, and you're hearing about it after the fact. But it's like you weren't complaining when you were sitting there with everybody dousing all of your shit and sweet potatoes and butter and all that and devouring the cake and then bringing the cake home and selling it to your friends at half price in a watered down version of the fucking thing. So I always sit back to like the party and you invite people in, and I don't like that there are other entities that are like, well, hey, you should have done this and it's not safe enough. It's like, well, you're really comparing it to nothing, and why are you really talking? Because it's my party and you are all invited. And you showed up and you did it, and why are you complaining after the fact?
And now there's another party.
All right. Have fun. Have a blast at the party. They don't even know what it is, right? Didn't you hear?
This has got to go quick or I'm going to have to bounce.
They only have gluten-free cake. All right, Colten, you got 20 seconds. Off you go.
Yeah, you need to be on demo team this year at the games. You get to see a different perspective. And really got to see how much they actually do care and how much effort they put into things. And a big part of why you see so many changes year after year is they're trying to get things right, largely for the athletes.
Good stuff. Taylor, 20 seconds. Off you go.
I don't really have anything to amend in my initial statement. I don't like the word care.
Okay. If you want a coach that cares about you, you should join Train Sentinel or Sentinel Training. That could be 3 seconds that you could use. Okay, no. All right, Hillary, you got 20 seconds. Time starts now.
They don't care enough if you're dumb enough to eat a gluten-free cake and you're gluten intolerant, or a gluten cake, a regular cake, and you're
Holy
but
fuck,
they still put on the party every year.
That was incredible, actually. That analogy, full circle analogy. Taylor, you can go. You won. Congrats.
I won. Do I get to use this? Do I get to use like 20 seconds to say whatever I want to say?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, I'm going to take it anyways. I just want everybody to know that I actually, in fact, don't hate Brian Friend. I just want everyone to know that he's kind of a piece of shit for the way that he acts. So that's really all I have to say. Love you guys. Go check out my latest YouTube reel. Watch Hiller's video. You'll get all the context there. Watch me and Sevon live today. I talked about a lot of it. Colten, you're a great guy. Can't wait to stay with you and Allie and Travis with Bryson at TFX. We definitely didn't get a Ford Raptor as our rental car. That would have been fiscally irresponsible, but see you guys later.
They did do that. Hiller, thanks. Colten, thanks. Everybody watching that was actually really good. Colten, well done. Screw the athletes, they're just puppets here to dance for entertainment. Well, I mean,
or as Greg would say, clowns.
Yeah, was it clowns in the car dealership? Thank you, Jennifer. Colten's role during the run. Yeah, we talked about that. That was crazy. Interesting strategy using Thanksgiving with an Irishman. Well, the thing is, I'm exposed to so much American culture and pop culture references that Thanksgiving is like, it's completely understandable for me.
You don't know what a birthday party is, though.
No, is that like where you show up at the delivery suite with a baseball glove ready to catch the baby?
Yes.
You have a party. Okay. Yeah, I figured. Golf players not do surveys. Oh, doesn't ask. Okay. Why does Pedro look homeless? Because I haven't had a haircut, and I only cut my beard when I get a haircut, and just haven't done it. And I'm like not at home. I'm not homeless, but I'm not at home. I still have a home. Can you get a butterball in Ireland? That's what my friends call me. No, I don't know what a butterball is. Is that a candy bar or what's a butterball?
It's a turkey, dude.
What?
Yeah, man, it's a brand of turkey. It's a brand.
Oh,
turkey brand. You know, like Genio.
Like a breed.
I think no.
You don't brand turkeys.
You brand anything.
That's like saying, "Hey, Colten, what brand of dog is your favorite?"
Kinda, yeah. If you were to eat it, there'd probably be brands on them.
This guy's Irish.
Go to China. I'm
This
sure they got
was
branded
turkey,
wiener dogs.
so we must know. All right. Butter beer. Oh, for fuck's
That's
sake.
Harry Potter.
Okay, how many calories are we up to, Joe? Oh my God, that
Have you
guy
seen
is
that
so fucked.
Yeah, man, I love that. I'm having a blast with that.
He must be on nearly 1,500, is he?
He's on 1347.
Oh my God. He is like just fucked. He's fucked.
Oh,
Anybody who hasn't
commented.
Who did?
Rogue Fitness.
Oh my God. Go to Hiller's stories, click on the reel that's in there like 15 times, and then comment and say anything.
Yeah, if this dude doesn't do them live, I'm gonna be pissed.
Is this the guy that's doing it, Joe Hall?
I think so. Yeah, that's him.
1,500 is only about 3 hours. It's only 3 hours.
Well, how long would it take you to do 1,500 calories on the Echo bike?
30 or 40 minutes.
On that note, thank you, Colten. Thanks, Hiller. Go and comment on Joe Hall's page. Thank you very much, everyone.